Hoggie's beer reviews. Hoggie's beer reviews. What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in once again to another one of Hoggie's beer reviews. And today's beer is a beer from my home state. This is from the state of Florida. That's right, if you can't already figure this one out, guys. This is from Cigar City, and this is called Hotter Than Hell's Lager. You know, I'm a proud Floridian, and unfortunately when it comes to craft beer, Cigar City is Florida's only claim to fame. So I try to review as many of their beers as possible. Now, I was at the store today and I came across this. I've seen it before, but the price was right, the timing was right, and I picked it up and I figured I'd share it with you guys. This is a Hell's Lager from Cigar City. Now let me crack one out of here. There you go. It says on here, because the funny thing is, it says hotter than in very small letters and Hell's Lager, and then shit, I'll show you. And then it says no peppers, just puns. I thought that was kind of cheesy, but reading the back it says, why so punny? Hell's is German for light colored. Hotter than Hell's is more than just a very silly pun. It perfectly reflects the nature of this beer. A lager meant to be consumed when it's truly hotter than Hell's outside. So there are no peppers or spices in this beer. 5% alcohol by volume. Brewed and canned at Cigar City Brewing, LLC, Tampa, Florida. Alright. A Hell's Lager. Basically, in Europe, way back in the day, you know, the Germans had been making these lagers forever and a day. And people really, you know, there was like a craze for Czech Pilsners. These, you know, these Czech lagers, they were Pilsners. They became all the rage, and the Germans kind of said, hey, what the hell? We don't want our people, Germans, drinking these Czech beers. So this was kind of their answer to the Czech Pilsner. Slightly maltier, slightly hoppier, just kind of like a slightly different take on a Pilsner. And it's called a Hell's Lager, and of course, like it says, Hell's is German for light or bright or light colored, etc., etc. So that's what it is. It's a plain lager, you know, 5% alcohol, nothing special. But I am curious to see what Cigar City's take on a lager is. So before we crack this guy open, as always, punching up Beer Advocate and Rate Beer. I already got them opened up here for you. For starters, on Beer Advocate, they don't even, take a look at that. They don't even have a picture of the damn beer. But out of 176 ratings, it scores an 85. They categorize it as a Munich Hell's Lager, 5% alcohol, and it is a rotating beer. I think this is their summer seasonal or something like that. Jumping over to Rate Beer really quick, out of 147 ratings, it scores an 89 overall. They categorize it as a Dortmunder or Hell's, and 5% alcohol, and that's about all it says. At least they have a picture of the label. Anyways, so that's that. Not a lot of ratings on this beer. Again, it's not available really in too many places outside of Florida, so I'm going to let you know what it's all about. Now, since we're keeping the Florida theme, this is my glass from the Tequesta Brewing Company in Tequesta, Florida. They're a really small-time operation, but they have been slowly growing over the last few years, which is always great to see. Sadly, I have their glasses, but I've never had any of their beers, but one day the day shall come. Anyways, lager glass. This glass is for their Chancellor, which I think is a lager, some kind of lager, so I figured it'd be fitting. Cigar City Lager in a can. Here we go. Oh, dripping on the floor. Shit. And yeah, I mean, hard to tell what it looks like with the can, obviously, but there is no mistaking. This is a lager. If it wasn't a lager, it'd be some kind of wit beer. Take a look at that. That is a pale. You know, I've reviewed a lot of adjunct lagers, you know, the Budweiser, Miller, Coors kind of beers, and I always use the phrase pale straw. This is beyond pale because it's almost got, I don't want to say fluorescent, I don't want to say neon, I don't want to say pastel, but it's got kind of like a little lemony kind of touch to that pale straw color. But yes, it is a very light color, although it is hazy. Unfiltered, perhaps. This is not a filtered super clear beer. Decent amount of carbonation, but not as much carbonation as you would see perhaps say on a Bud, Miller, or Coors lager. Yeah, and it smells like a lager. But like a pure, clean German lager, you know what I mean? Yeah. Also reminiscent of like a Czech Pilsner. Smells good, a little bit of lemongrass. Very mild, very bland, very tame kind of nose on this beer. Picking up a little lemongrass, little lager yeast, you know, kind of a papery malt. And that's really about it. So, I mean, for what it is, it doesn't look bad, but this is not an appealing color for a beer, unless, of course, I was working outside in the Florida heat. But let's see what it tastes like. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and stay tuned. There's so much more coming. I love you guys. Cheers. I'm impressed. I am impressed. Bite from the carbonation up front, along with almost kind of a lemony hop bite. It's mild, but it's there. The body is light, but even the lager yeast flavor is subdued. Papery malts, and kind of like that, a subtle little touch of that apple pear thing you get sometimes with the yeast. Definitely, you know, kind of a European style beer. I wouldn't doubt it if this was some kind of European yeast strain, because it does have that slight appley pear kind of note going on, combined with a little bit of like a papery malt. I don't know how better to describe that. Papery, like a very mild kind of banana bread kind of thing, with a nice dry hoppy lemongrass finish. This is really like this if you were gonna pound a beer after working outside, you know, hot, sweaty afternoon summer sun, okay, after working, doing whatever, you were gonna pound a beer, but yet you still wanted a little bit of flavor, this is the best beer on the market for that situation. Because it is light, it is refreshing, it is simple, but it still has flavor and bite. Yeah, no, this is a clean, beautiful lager. This is a very good take on the style. For everybody out there who likes Czech Pilsners, or, you know, the hoppier Euro lagers, or, you know, a good hoppy, you know, American craft lager that is still kind of a light, clean lager, this is right up your alley. This is right up there, you know, with something like a Pilsner or Kel, something like a Sam Adams Noble Pils. I'm trying to think, there's the other one, the Prima Pils from Victory. This is better than Prima Pils from Victory. This is good. It's light, it's clean, it's a summertime beer. Okay, don't sit around watching a football game with this beer. Don't try to have this with dinner. There's not a lot of flavor. It's not very complex. It's not very robust, but it's light and refreshing and satisfying. This is grilling lawnmower after a workout, after playing ball. This is, you know, out on the boat, out while fishing, you know, hot, sweaty refreshment with taste. This is what this is. And honestly, I didn't really know what to expect, but their description pretty much said it. Perfectly reflects the nature of this beer. A lager meant to be consumed when it's truly hotter than hell's outside. Indeed. Indeed. They hit the nail on the head. And because of that, for what it is, glass full. Another winner from Cigar City. And I don't want people to think that I you know, give them high ratings and really sweat them and tout them because they're in Florida. They're the hometown, you know, brewers. No, they just make really good beers. And this one truly hits the nail on the head. If you come across it, try it. If you can get your hands on it in a beer trade or something while it's still summer, you know, we're in April, you got a few more months of this. Get your hands on it, enjoy it. This is a great, refreshing craft beer for hot weather, for sweaty activities. And there's not much more I can say. So before I turn this into a 20-minute video, let me get out of here. Remember, it's Hoggie's Beer on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Untapped, and hoggiesbeer.com, coming as soon as I get my ass up to do it. And that's that. Once again, thanks for tuning in, guys. I love all you guys. Stay tuned. There's more in the pipe. And as always, guys, cheers. Be good. And remember, life is too short to drink crappy beer. Don't support the people who make crappy beer. Drink the good shit. Cheers.